Greetings ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2017 Entrapment Championships. I'm your host slicedlime, and we're taking a look at the very first game in this tournament. There are 12 teams competing for the title, split into 4 different groups, and the top 2 teams of each group will advance to the quarterfinals. In this first match we are taking a look at Group C. The Jiggles taking on Indecisive. We're gonna have the Jiggles in red and Indecisive in blue for this match that is taking place in the Tranquility Village arena. We jump into the action near the end of round 2. We have had 2 sets of chests being distributed. Both teams have gotten both of their chests. There have been skeleton spawn eggs in the first round's chest, and then there have been lava buckets and magma blocks in the chest from this round. In the process, there has been some slight fall damage, with Cedri on Indecisive taking 2 hearts of damage, and Omer RG on the Jiggles taking 1.5 hearts, so the health situation is almost the same. The Jiggles are digging up stone, making stone tools, I presume, over in the far corner of the map. Picking up the crafting table before they switch over. It's always a good idea to not leave resources for your opponents. The new chest is a dangerous one, Shulkers and Endermites, together with a dispenser, of course, if you want to set up a trap using those. Both chests, again, seem to be pretty reasonably placed, but it's going to be interesting to see if the teams are now using them. There's some skeletons floating about, and Kuroy has taken 3.5 hearts of damage, and Swifter has taken 1.5 hearts as well, putting Indecisive in a little bit of a health advantage. New chests for round 4. One of them has spawned inside of the little garden area for the house. A little bit annoying, but not very difficult. These ones are bows and arrows. Very useful for the teams to pick up in order to be more defensive. They are not so useful offensively. You can set up a dispenser trap with arrows, but mostly you want them to actually shoot mobs so that you can defend your team as it's getting attacked. This map is a little bit different, by the way, in some ways. One of the reasons for that is that the exit is actually underground. You see the spawn zone down here leads out into a cave. That presents some interesting opportunities for the teams to set up traps on the way out. Once you're entering the arena, you really want to get up onto the surface and find more chests. Still have not seen anybody place the actual shulkers, but we might see that coming pretty soon here. Oh, there is a shulker being placed. Oh, several shulkers being placed right on top of the spawn zone. They are apparently immediately fighting each other. A little bit of a mishap for Team Indecisive right there. This leaves 2 shulkers that don't seem to have started attacking each other. So that's something at least, and there's tons of shulker bullets floating around right here. Oh, one has ended up inside of the spawn zone. Very interesting. But Swifter makes quick work of that using the spawn safety, of course. New chest for round 5 is going to be blaze spawns and dispensers. This could be a very interesting round and decisive. Healths have been stable for a while. Zedra is still the only person on Indecisive to have taken any damage at all, is now down 2.5 hearts, while Command Engineer is the only person on the Jiggles team who has not taken damage. Oh, and Kuroy started taking more damage here, and so is Cedri. Some damage being dealt right at the start of round 5. It does not seem like the shulker trap was too effective though. Shulkers have taken damage and teleported away. The one that is remaining has not managed to snag somebody and deal a lot of damage through falling. The Jiggles have managed to pretty much completely mitigate that danger. However, now Swifter has been going down back again. He's putting himself in a little bit of the danger zone to set up his own trap, but he's managing to avoid the shulker bullets properly and is taking out the shulker. Teleports away, thus eliminating the danger, except for 1 lone shulker bullet still floating about looking for a target. That one fails to hit its mark as well, and the Swifter moves safely on. New round, we have a couple of blazes being summoned in manually. The team just quickly runs away from that, taking no damage at all, and pretty much completely avoids that trap. There are blazes on the other side as well, however, and Indecisive are actually taking them on. This is perfectly fine, and this time of the match there's plenty of spawn safety time to go around this round. Later rounds will be more hectic as teams start getting less and less safe time to play with. All of the blazes have now been taken care of, and the team can move out into the arena to get this round's chest. This round's chest being zombie spawn eggs and a dispenser. One other distinction of this map to other maps as well is that because the exit from the spawn area is underground, it is easier to use mobs like zombies and skeletons because they don't burn up. There's no sunlight that reaches the spawn zone down there. One example of this is the cover that Team Jiggles has put down to prevent the zombies from burning. They are, however, chasing the team out, especially a baby zombie that they now have to fight even though they actually spawn it themselves. Spawn safety is up. There's 45 seconds left of the round. Some of the zombies are burning up from following the team up into the arena. And now Commander Engineer has gone down to take a look, and as a result more of the zombies have figured out where he is and they all follow him up and burn up, reducing the efficiency of that trap significantly. Meanwhile, the Indecisive team have set up a dispenser mechanism right on top of the spawn. They've put a dispenser with a lever and covered it up, so now they can spawn in endermites and blazes en masse right before the switch happens. This creates a very tricky exit for the Jiggles, who now have to deal with all of these mobs, and they have 75 seconds of spawn safety to do so. Some of them have run for it and have actually taken a fair bit of damage. This puts Team Indecisive in a sizable lead health-wise, where they've still only got Zedre down on health, but all of the players on Team Jiggles have now taken a significant amount of damage. All of them except Command Engineer are down less than half health, and Command Engineer is just hovering slightly above half health. Highly effective trap by the Indecisive team over there in round 7, giving them a very strong lead. Command Engineer taking even more damage as things go on. And while this is going on, Indecisive are setting up even more traps right outside of the spawn zone. One of the features of the map, however, is that lava gets cleared once the switchover happens, so this trap might turn out to be very ineffective. On their end, the Jiggles are using the mechanism that the Indecisive team built to summon even more mobs, including spiders and even more blazes. And as the switchover happens, the lava is indeed drained out from that. However, on their side, the Indecisive team now have to deal with a whole bunch of skeletons and blazes and spiders and all kinds of things, and they have only about a minute to do so, but Command Engineer fails to see the lava that is dissipating on the ground, steps into it, and burns to death. That is a first death, slain by Team Indecisive, and the Jiggles are down one player, 3 versus 4, and the less than half health of the players on Team Jiggles, who are now in round 8, setting up yet another trap with the dispensers facing into the spawn area. As Zedre takes a lot of damage from the thing's spawn safety is running out, and first death for Team Indecisive while fighting his way out of the spawn area, fighting a blaze. That was very effective work by Team Jiggles, and we are now 3 versus 3, even though Team Indecisive has a sizable health advantage still. However, they've had a really tough time even making it out of the spawn area for round 8, and thus they have yet to reach the chest in this round that contains creeper spawn eggs, something you really don't want to miss and leave for the enemy team. They have yet to make it up from underground, so let's see how they do. They have around 1.5 minutes still to go. Meanwhile, Swifter is setting up a new dispenser trap for Team Jiggles in the spawn zone. They've covered it up completely now, filled it up with creepers and spiders, and are now just waiting to unleash this monstrosity when the time starts ticking down. Indecisive have finally made it out of their spawn area and reached the chest, so they had now also picked up the creeper spawn eggs. However, they have yet to put them to any use. We'll see if they manage to use the last 30 seconds of this round to actually create a trap using these materials. Vizlox is setting up around the spawn zone, seeing if he can find an angle to spawn these things in and not takes damage, and William still has skeleton spawn eggs as well. They're gonna try to combo this out with 9 seconds remaining. Apparently Bine even had some zombies remaining. They're spawning in things as fast as they can right now. Switchover happens, and Team Jiggles are now faced with a whole bunch of zombies and skeletons. They put down a lava bucket, actually very clever in dealing with this amount of mobs in the small amount of time they have now. This time is shrinking, and they now only have 30 seconds left to bust out of the spawn area and get out to the chest for round 9, which is minecarts with TNT and some rails to activate them. That is a very interesting one. Let's see if one of the teams can make an effective trap using that. On their side, the Indecisive team have simply dug their way out without taking any damage whatsoever. Swifter is now down also to 1.5 hearts, extending the health advantage of Team Indecisive even further. Spawn safety will now run at quicker and quicker until we're down to only 30 seconds of spawn safety per round for the remainder of the game. We're in round 9, and rounds are now approaching their final shape. Vizlox is preparing to maybe spawn in some creepers in some good location. As the time runs out, we're counting down 5 seconds remaining of this round. And he actually spawns one in, and it doesn't blow up, so he sets that trap really cleverly. Let's see if it pans out. Creeper's a little bit oblivious, doesn't notice the team running past. So that is their lack, but no. The new chest is the brewing chest, and this one actually has a little bit of a hidden benefit to it. It has gunpowder in it, which normally you would see as that is for thrown splash potions. However, you could as well use that for TNT if you just gather up the sand yourself. So let's see if one of the teams figures that one out. Neither team has actually picked up the gunpowder out of the chest, however. Creeper finally notices them and blows up, but to no damage at all. We are still at less than 10 healths in total for the Jiggles and almost full health of all 3 players that remain on the Indecisive team. And we're back in after some hiccups in round 11. No real differences in health. A fair bit of skeletons standing around over here. Let's see if they snipe somebody out. They can't really see anybody, and the team is taking a different way out than what they had anticipated, I would assume. So no effectiveness on that trap. Round 12, some explosions have gone off, but no big news. The biggest news is Bindgrid has taken yet another half heart of damage, putting him down at 9. In the meantime, Omer RG has also taken another heart of damage, putting him down at 3, putting the Jiggles down significantly in health. Team Jiggles are trying to set up a trap here, but the skeletons are still standing around, making it somewhat difficult. They've blocked up the normal exit too, so the only real exit is the one that the team has dug out. However, they are now placing down tracks to send down TNT minecarts into the spawn zone. With that, Omer manages to time that incredibly poorly and blow up Swifter, testing out his trap. That is GG Swifter, who is now out of the game as well. The Jiggles are now looking at the trap that blew Swifter up and seeing if they can make something effective to take out one of the Indecisive. We'll see what they do. We have 15 seconds remaining of this count, and Kuroy jumps off a little carelessly, taking some fall damage there. Both now down to 3 hearts. 5 seconds to go. Minecarts are coming in, and they're gonna blow up immediately though, without effect. At the same time, Indecisive have cleverly left a Bud-activated TNT block set on a timer from a furnace burning out. However, the timer is somewhat long, and by the time the furnace finishes burning, the Jiggles have left the area a long time ago. Meanwhile, the Jiggles have taken yet another half heart of damage and are now down to 5.5 hearts. They're now working on some trap above spawn as the hidden trap goes off. Don't take any damage, but right afterwards, Omer RG falls off the ledge he's perching on and dies from the fall damage. GG Omer RG, and now Q-Roy is the one remaining player on the Jiggles with 3 hearts of health versus the entire team of Indecisive. Nearing the end of round 13, Q-Roy is now set up a dispenser mechanism to put as many mobs in as possible. He's spawning every single thing he has, which is a lot of pigmen, witches, and poisonous cave spiders. We'll see how this goes. There's low spawn safety now. This could deal a great deal of damage to Indecisive if they don't manage to deal with this correctly. They go right out, they have 30 seconds to defeat them, but they actually accidentally hit the pigmen and are now in big trouble. 20 seconds to go. Vizlok spawns in creepers and uses them to blow up the mobs. It's a very clever tactic because they have spawn safety, but the mobs don't. Having trouble getting the creepers to trigger though, but that was very nicely done. Now they are just down to the witches to deal with, and they're trying to deal with those with the lava. They are poisoned though, so they will take some damage as spawn safety is running out. At the same time, in the other arena, Q-Roy is in a lot of trouble in the similar nature because of a redstone dispenser mechanism that has spawned in all kinds of mobs right in front of him, and he's only one person. He's trying his best to find a way to get through this mass of mobs, but he can't really do it. And spawn safety is about to run out. He has to get out of the spawn zone very, very soon. He makes a run for it, gets stuck in the corner, and that is it. GG as Indecisive takes this game.